Orale! What's up, homies? Welcome to the Chino and Homeboy podcast. It's our 69th episode, and we're gonna talk about the colored people's business. So if you're easily offended, turn this shit off right now. And if you keep on listening and you end up getting butthurt about it because we threw some sand up in your vagina, well then fuck your feelings. On with the show. All right, we are in business.
Indeed.
We're in business.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Orale, what's up, homies? So, did y'all go to Delete Lawz, that YouTube channel?
No.
Okay, so I went to go see who Chille DeCastro was, because earlier in the week, Hate Jones introduced us to a video about a motherfucker who goes by Chille DeCastro, and
Right.
some white savior bullshit that he was on. And I had to go and see what kind of YouTube videos this motherfucker was making, so that I know what his angle was.
But let's add some context. I think in the last show or show before last, I mentioned about not trusting white people
right
too much, and how selective racism can be.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker is a walking example of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know if Chille DeCastro is, what I could say. I don't think he's racist per se, right? However, I can say that he did say some racist shit while he had his own dick in his mouth and he was sucking himself off. I saw what the Jolly Good Ginger said about him and his white savior complex. And I don't disagree. This motherfucker did have a white savior complex because, it's blatant. I don't know if he's blatantly racist, but I know it is blatantly racist to say, something like, I'm leaving the black community because, there aren't any black leaders. And I'm like, man, how are you going to tell someone you're leaving a community that you're not actually a part of?
Right.
Yeah. Like, like, look at these ungrateful Negroes. I'm trying to save them.
What I think he was trying to say is, I'm going to stop helping the black community because y'all motherfuckers don't appreciate the hard work that I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Which his attitude is inherently racist. So on that side of the debate, I'm gonna call for racism. Because he has limiting beliefs about black people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. His that is true. Yes.
And secondary, he wants to be in control of how black people operate themselves.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. He wants to be the captain of black people. And because we're not listening to him and we're calling bullshit on him, he's mad and angry. And now he's gonna throw a sissy fit. So he might be a liberal in other senses of the word, but he's no different than the bitch in the park who called the police on the dude who was telling her stop choking her dog.
Right. So oh man, I had it in my head. He's not liberal at all. I mean, he's liberal in the same way that libertarians are liberal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I went to Delete Lawz, right, which is a channel that he is a part of, and one of their big projects is trying to overturn Terry versus Ohio. Right now, it's these white lawyers and these white people, right, that run the channel. Right now, Terry versus Ohio is the law that the Supreme Court ruled on, saying that it is within the police, it's within the right of police authorities to, you know, stop you for whatever fucking reason they deem necessary, right? Which is the whole, you know, walking up to someone and saying like, hey, I'm putting you under arrest. And I'm like, and they're like, for what? On suspicion of this or that. And they're like, what's your evidence? You fit the description. Like, what you mean I fit the description, right? And it could be like, you know, the description, tall, human being. That with a penis.
That's a very nebulous description.
Yeah, well, you look suspicious. Like, what do you mean I look suspicious? You look like a person. You know what I mean? You know? So
you're breathing.
So I think that they're libertarians, right? Now, I don't disagree with their cause, but the way they're going about it, using the Black community as their leverage to try and overturn a law that they disagree with, right? I think that's just exploitive, right? Now, you could say that's racist, right? And I won't disagree with you. You know, even though they think that their motivations aren't racist, but it's just that it is racist. They just don't know that they're being racist, right? Because they could just as easily know. Well, they could just as easily overturn Terry versus Ohio using a white person and probably carry more success.
Well, I'm wondering if their scheme is just YouTube.
It might be.
You know what I'm saying? So like I was listening to something else this weekend, and some people had basically trolled a celebrity, and created like a what was that audio hangout app shit called that was popular during when we were all locked down, where it's like a big audio group chat shit.
Dude, you're doing exactly what the police do. It's like, what you mean I fit the description?
I'm asking you a question of what the name of this shit is. I'm not arresting it. I'm just asking for the name. Clubhouse.
I never heard of Clubhouse.
So,
I'm today years old when I found out about Clubhouse.
Nigga, you old. Yeah. Clubhouse.
Well, I am 88.
So Clubhouse is an app that's basically audio group chatting. So you can create a room similar to what we have going on here.
Right.
And you can allow other people to listen to it and let certain people join the conversation. Right.
Right.
So what has happened is a lot of hip hoppers have been pushing this. It was supposed to be a means for tech moguls and whatnots to kind of get together and share and swap ideas with one another and shit like that and kind of connect during pandemic.
Right.
And somehow they suck hip hoppers in. It has like $1 billion evaluation, or did. Once the doors open back up, I don't know if it still had that. But a lot of hip hoppers have hopped on and start holding rooms. So somebody held a room talking about some particular female singer, like just shitting on her or whatever, right?
Right.
And some rapper hopped in like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, why would you? Oh no, you know what? Actually, they were talking about comedians who weren't funny, and they were targeting what's her face? Tiffany Haddish.
Oh.
And so everybody was in there. So another comedian hopped on, and I was listening to his interview, and he was like, I hopped in that group and I start, running on these motherfuckers, especially the person who start the room. Like, why would you come in here and bash somebody who ain't did anything negative, who's helping other comedians out, It was like, well, really, we just want to get her attention because we want her to help out with this other project. So it was like, it was not
the right way to do it.
It was all a troll to grab her attention to then say, hey, we have this charitable thing over here that we would really love your help with. And that's why we start this room.
Man, see, this is the problem with the red pill that I got. where they they're letting motherfuckers think that like if you like fucking neg somebody, that's just the way to get their fucking attention. No, bad humans.
Very, very bad.
Fuck the red pill.
No,
I said it. Fuck red pill.
So what happened in this audio chat thing?
Well, he just read them the riot act, but I'm saying they were looking for views, so they created this particular topic because they knew it would get views, and so there's this whole community of auditors for law enforcement who are all white people, who either review body cam footage constantly and try to talk to you about the legalities of things, or they're an actual group of people who go out and do shit like record at facilities that might not want to be recorded, but they have a constitutional right to do so, and they wait until the police come, and then they argue with the police, and sometimes they get arrested, and they go through this whole rigmarole. So and even that group is kind of fishy to a degree, because I'm like, a lot of them, like, you're creating these fictitious interactions, right, where you could just be like directly supporting Black Lives Matter,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You could just go to the hood and record motherfuckers getting pulled over,
right?
But you don't do that. You create these non-threatening situations and just argue with the cops and waste their time.
Now, here's my question. You know, so I was watching that. What was his name? Jolly Green Ginger.
Yeah.
And
shout out to you, Jolly Green. Jolly Good Ginger. You know, you're doing the Lord's work.
He's a good example of what an ally is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But he's also probably generating a career out of it also.
Hey, you know what though? It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, until he starts sounding stupid.
Yeah,
I gotta let him roll. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is also, a very underrated white ally of the colored community. So continue, Chino. Be interrupted.
Well, all right. So, like I said, I was watching this guy's, videos, talking about this Chille DeCastro guy, and screenshots of the interaction between Talib and this Chille DeCastro guy, was shown, and in it said, he's at a rally to protest the death of, a young white and Black kid, and he was talking about how this Chille DeCastro guy was weaponizing his presence at this rally. Right now, my question is, this whole thing, that one website that you mentioned, what was it? Something Lawz.
Oh, the YouTube Lawz channel. It's a YouTube channel called Delete Lawz.
All right. So Delete Lawz. How much of this, how much of their motivation is in overturning or getting rid of Terry versus Ohio? How much of that is because it's also happening to white people?
Yeah, exactly.
How much of how big of a motivating factor is the fact that it's now happening in white people as well? How heavy is that in regards to their decision to, hey, let's overturn this shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. So check it out, man. Look, I'm gonna put the closed captions on because I don't know if the sound works. Hold up. Let me share my. Hold up.
I can hear you.
Right.
Oh, well, you mean the video?
Yeah, you guys can hear the video, but sometimes it doesn't. Or I haven't seen it. What you call it?
Work.
Record the sound over Zoom, but how the hell do I share my fucking screen?
How the hell do I do this? A green circle on the
there it is. I see it.
Bar.
I see it. Share screen. All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Share that shit. All right, so here he is. All right, this is the video right here. I put the closed captions on, audience. So if you're not hearing the sound, y'all motherfuckers better know how to read.
Pot brothers of law.
Yeah, see, this is too much of a show. These are characters.
Right.
Like this isn't an advertisement for the show, is it?
It is. It's an advertisement that's like 55 minutes long, son.
Oh boy. Yeah. So these are clowns.
Now watch this bullshit. Hold up. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
They want to be YouTube famous.
Is that Sean Astin?
No.
I thought it was Sean.
He looks like Boris Johnson.
Oh, he does, huh? With better hair. Slightly better hair. Are they saying Jeff fucking Lloyd? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, this is funny because I just had a conversation with my mother about people on the internet. And I was like, all this shit's fake. You don't know what's real, what's, you know what I'm saying? Like none of it.
Right.
And she follows a particular lady who basically just talks to her mom and do some different shit, but then she sells this.
Hold
this
up.
tea.
Are we done watching this? Are we talking about your mom's and what she does? We done watching this?
No, I'm talking about the fabrication of things.
Right. Can we watch the video though?
Yeah, I don't hear nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. That's why you got to read this shit.
Yeah, you know about me and Reed, nigga.
Like I said, man, y'all
It's funny that without reading it, I can tell that they're full of shit.
Well, yeah, right. So I've seen enough.
You've seen enough. All right.
How the fuck do I stop sharing this shit now?
Oh,
there it is. Stop share. There it is. All right. Yeah. See, you can't hear the audio. I don't understand how you can't. I can't make the audio work on the fucking Zoom shit. So you know, fuck Zoom. Fuck. You know what? Fuck Skype too, because I couldn't get the sound to work on Skype either. So fuck both of them.
I think on Skype we could hear it, but the audience couldn't. And on here, nobody can.
Yeah,
right.
I don't understand how that fucking shit works. Do I have to like switch? Do I have to switch the audio? Is that what it is?
It might be.
Maybe.
But I never had to share video with audio on either one of them before. So I'm totally
oh man, this would require me to fucking do some shit, huh? Let's see, what if I did select microphone?
Nope, still can't hear a damn thing.
It should say system audio, because that'll be the sound from the actual computer.
There he goes.
Yep. We have sound.
All right, delete laws, man. I love it. They're gonna get rid of all these dumb, stupid laws with delete laws. All right, what is it? What's the law? There's a law here in California, SB 6969, which makes it illegal for women to surf in the state of California. Illegal? Illegal. That is a dumb law. Posted right now. I just posted it. It's on Delete Lawz website. Go upvote it. Do it. The show's starting. We gotta go. Terry era. Crazy. Enjoy the show. Loving delete laws. Dumb laws are out of here. Delete laws, baby. See.
My name is Jeff fucking Lloyd, and I'm not changing how I say it.
Say it again, Jeff.
My name's Jeff fucking Lloyd, and I'm not changing how I say it. I'm white, I'm rich, I'm a Republican, and I'm an alcoholic. What is the purpose of saying I'm white? Isn't that going to piss people off?
Jeff Lloyd is my motherfucking ally.
Jeff fucking Lloyd.
Jeff fucking Lloyd. Jeff fucking Lloyd is my...
That's my motherfucking ally.
That one rich ass Republican.
Jeff fucking Lloyd.
Jeff fucking Lloyd.
Jeff fucking Lloyd. Jeff fucking Lloyd is my nigga.
Jeff fucking Lloyd is my hero.
Jeff fucking Lloyd is a maniacal maniac, but he wants to overturn Terry v. Ohio. Jeff fucking Lloyd! Jeff fucking Lloyd!
So is his name Jeff fucking Lloyd?
Supposed to be in the land of the free, home of the brave, instead of the incarceration nation. Jeff fucking Lloyd! Fuck the incarceration nation, motherfucker.
That was cringy.
You know what funny is it?
Oh. This is a Terry stop, and you're gonna learn it. Or get the fuck out of here.
Oh, why are we looking at you, homeboy? Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Who did you see there at the end? Our friend Chille DeCastro. But yeah, that's who he's working for.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's who he's working for. That's the video that I was telling you. That's Delete Lawz, right? You know,
that's cringy as fuck.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that shit. That's just some libertarian bullshit where they're using people of color to try and push their own agenda, right?
Yeah.
I find that disingenuous. I find it disingenuous, even though they have a just cause that they're working toward. It's still very disingenuous, especially after what Chille DeCastro said.
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah, I mean they're very disingenuous. I think it's personally all for show.
Yeah, he probably would be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get some YouTube dollars in there. I'm a lawyer. Maybe it'll bring me some new clientele. But telling me that you're rich and Republican doesn't
help your cause.
Yeah. not in my book. It's like, oh, you're a rich Republican. Yeah, I'm not hiring you as my lawyer.
So aside from being blatantly, well, maybe not blatantly, but you know, being white savior, you know, for the Black community, what else does Chille DeCastro do?
I think he's a cop.
Yeah, I found a picture off of Talib's page that had him as a cop. Which all this other shit with them also leads into like my what I was talking about before about soft conservatism, you know, like lead-ins, like because this is how they sound like, oh, I'm a cop and I'm kind of liberal, but I'm a Republican, and like that's stage one. And then the next thing you know, you'll get fed some other people who are a little bit more deeper and more direct, and you know, it keeps going.
All right,
this is like a gateway drug to being a conservative.
Right. Like check. All right, so check this out. Check this out. Oh fucking! Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Changing my mic again. All right.
Right.
Your leadership sucks. It's zero. You don't have any leadership in the Black community.
I hope you're ready because I'm about to drag this dude. In case you don't know who that is, that's Chille DeCastro. I did a video exposing him yesterday, which was reported and brought down, but you can still see it on Talib Kweli's page. Basically, he's been pretending for months that he's an ally, but there's been problematic behavior along the way. There's been red flags. And then the other day, he let the racism flow. You can go watch the other video. So yesterday, he put up this very long YouTube video trying to explain his position. And man, it was an expose in white saviorism and internalized racism. Let's get into it.
When you call someone a racist, racist is the new N-word.
You know who says that? Racist. That's how he started. Then he goes into how he, the white guy, has been searching for a Black leader. It's very bizarre. Watch this.
What I've been doing is looking for a Black leader.
You heard right. The white savior is out looking for a Black leader that he can empower. During this little rant about why the Black community needs him to find a leader for them, he goes on a rant about everything the Black community is doing is dumb. Watch this.
You don't just take power because you want it. You don't march down the street and say, no justice, no peace, no racist police. And the cops are going to line up and go, you know what? I'm a racist. I'm out of here. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And that was his right cross to the entire Black Lives Matter movement. It's giving me all lives matter vibes. Well, let's get back to his rant about Black leadership and how you need him to find a leader for the Black community.
Throughout the history of time, Black people never got a seat at the table in leadership. Nobody offered them one. I reached out to Black people for leadership, and that's what I was doing when I reached out to a rapper.
Can you pause for just a second?
These are 2000s.
Now, out of all the political organizations that exist within the Black community, he calls up a rapper.
Right.
An entertainer, not somebody who's actually in politics, not someone who actually has, somebody from the NAACP or any other organization.
Someone who has actual
He
clout.
calls up a rapper. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody who runs for office, somebody who's gotten laws passed before, somebody who's in Congress or anything else. People that we've actually elected to some form of leadership. He calls in a slightly popular rapper.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
No disrespect, but he's not top popular. He's an underground. Talib Kweli is an underground rapper who does political shit sometimes. But like that's dumb on him. Like, he didn't call up Farrakhan. Could have went and talked to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Louis Farrakhan still alive?
Yes, he is.
Huh.
He could have dug up Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, could have called Jesse Jackson.
Al Sharpton.
Could have talked to Al Sharpton.
Oprah.
Get
Oprah in there.
She's more of a leader of the white community.
Oh, I stand corrected.
More specifically, the white woman community.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me is
he could have called Obama.
Oprah's
we
white.
all voted him in. You know what I'm saying? So like people who would actually have some kind of pull with Black people across the whole nation.
Mm-hmm.
He talked to a rapper that most motherfuckers don't even know exists.
Call Jay-Z.
No, don't call a fucking rapper. They're entertainers.
Call the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
the
right.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
If you got beef, then bring the ruckus, son.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we continue, or should we?
Yeah.
Should I just
go?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Give me a second. Forgot about this. Forgot.
To be honest with you, once you called me a racist, like me calling you the N-word, that's the same thing. They're the same. You became an adversary.
Three things. First of all, he thinks he stumbled upon this novel idea that Black people have never had a seat at the table. This has been an ongoing conversation for a long time. He thinks he discovered it. A white guy discovering something that already existed. Where have I heard that before? Number two, he's reached out to Black leaders. That's why I reached out to a rapper. Racial tropes much? Number three, the N-word and calling me a racist is the same thing, except I won't say that word. But let's get back to him searching for a Black leader as the white savior.
I have reached out to so many Black leaders, or no, I'm sorry, I'm misstepping. And this is the second part of this part. I've reached out to so many popular Black people, not leaders. If any of the Black influencers actually want to step up here and actually show the text messages and emails and phone calls I've given to you saying you're the leader of this because you need a voice at the table and I'm willing to block for you. How many influencers are willing to show the screenshots of me texting you saying, lead us, queen, lead us, king?
He's reached out to Black influencers to find a leader. He said, lead us, queen, lead us, king. And then he goes into a rant. Well, I'll just let you listen to it.
You are not a king or a queen just because you say you are. Sorry. I'm sorry, it's a bullshit thing to say. I still say it because I want to fit into the culture, even though I don't. I know more information than you do.
Yep, you heard that correct.
Oh my God.
Part of the culture. And please understand that the culture is a racial dog whistle for Black people. And he's not part of the culture because he's smarter. In fact, here's another clip where he implies that Black people don't know anything. Watch this.
Because if a Black person isn't sitting at the table, it'll be another Rutherford B. Hayes moment. I know that you don't know what that means.
And then what does he say?
Wow.
Journey to recruit a Black leader? Well, let's hear it.
And what I've determined is that we're not the same. Our team is a game changer. You are a social influencer. So what I've learned along the way is that we're not the same. And look what happens when you do step up. I just tried to recruit a Black leader and look at what's happened in my life.
There you have it. White saviorism 101. We are not the same. Our team, you guys, I'm smarter. You don't know anything. You don't have any leadership. I mean, he hits every racial trope in the book. The culture. There was some people in my comment section saying that I was dividing allies when I called him out. No, I've been doing this for a really long time. I can smell a racist from a mile away. Now, let me say something directly to him. You keep jumping in my comment section talking about I'm going to sue you. I've already told you to serve the papers. So shit or get the fuck off the pot.
Your leadership sucks. It's zero. You don't have any leadership in the Black community.
I hope you're ready because I'm about to drag this dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So
sorry about that. That repeated.
Yeah, ain't no problem.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but that's the whole problem. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're you're charlatan, you're racist, you're a cop. Why you want to decide to well, I wonder if he's a former cop or is he currently a cop? But he's probably only wanting to overturn the Terry stop thing because he's no longer a police officer, and he's been hired to work with these motherfuckers.
Can I show the audience the poetic justice though?
Go for it.
All right. I mean, you just got to see like the change in voice and tone, right? Like,
oh yeah,
right.
Just
oh, no, he switched up a lot. Like, where are you?
You don't have the right to do that because you're Black. I love Black people. I have tons of Black friends. But by the way, all my Black friends right now are making videos. Do you know that? Every Black friend I have is making a video saying, I'm friends with Chille. I've known him for this many years. I've had to do it because I don't want people to brand me racist. And now I asked them if I was racist and they said, yes. They said I was racist. Does anybody here think I'm racist? If you think I'm racist, you should unfriend me and we shouldn't talk anymore.
I'm confused. I'm really confused here. He said all of his Black friends are making videos in support of him, and
right.
then turns around and says they also said he is racist.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm totally confused.
Well, you know, white saviors can be.
Because like, why would they make a video saying that you're not racist or in support of you in some capacity, but then in private tell you, yes, you are racist?
Yeah.
So he, like you said, hey Jones, he's either a cop or a former cop, right?
Yes.
Which kind of explains how
given
this one other video.
Can we find that out, Jamie? I'm gonna ask Jamie.
I mean, I got that
Jamie's
picture.
Gonna look
That's
it
all
up.
I got. All I got is that
well,
picture.
Well, what I was trying to say was I saw this one other video that you shared in the wardroom or the war room, not the wardroom, the war room, where he was trying to dox this dude. You know what I mean? And so like
Talib, yeah.
And it was like he was saying, or I guess he found where the wife lives, you know, he found addresses and fucking phone numbers and shit. So I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? And now that he's a cop or a former cop who may still have his connections, you know, that kind of explains how he's able to do it.
I could find that shit out for $15.
I mean, there's that too, but you know, like I guess I wasn't approaching it from the position of I'm not willing to spend this much money or any money for that matter, you know, on some internet beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you don't want no beef. You don't want no beef. You don't want no beef.
Hell no. Hell no. I like fish, which is why I eat pussy. Is that gonna get me canceled?
Worth it.
Oh man.
All right, so hold up. Check this out, man. Chille DeCastro. All right, so I found him on hoobiloo.com. All right, it's got his name. It's got his. It's this white dude, and it says Chille DeCastro is our vice president of marketing. Mr. DeCastro has 10 years experience in the social media markets, and he embraces and employs the power of that tool in building teams and collaborators across a variety of industries, including marketing, production, and sales. Mr. DeCastro's abilities to network and utilize social influencers are key assets to Hoobiloo Venture Corporation's organic marketing strategy. Mr. DeCastro resides in West Hollywood and enjoys social activism, volunteering, and writing. That's what it says. In fact, you know what? Let me just look it up here. And I'll show the I'll dox Chille DeCastro right now.
And is that his government name?
I believe it is, man.
Yeah.
I think it might be his government name.
Yeah. Constitutional law expert on Clubhouse db.com. It says that he's a writer, producer, constitutional law expert, technologist, coded, and
how are you a constitutional law expert without being a fucking lawyer?
Hold up, he's on what?
Clubhousedatabase.com.
Oh, I thought he was on. I thought it was IMDb. Sorry.
I mean, he does have an IMDb profile, I guess.
Oh, all right.
For
so here we go.
Writer producer.
There he is. That's that motherfucker right there. Right there. That's him. That's him. Stick that up his nose right there. That's him. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
You can't trust him.
I wouldn't trust him just from the way he spells his first name.
He's not even a real police officer. Ain't that some shit? And he's got that police officer fucking suit on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
He's a complete fraud.
Yep. That's all he is a marketer. All he is a marketer. Like if Chille DeCastro was any kind of marketer worth the fucking money, let me tell you what he should have done. He should have told Black Lives Matter, like, hey, listen, you should add a 2 at the end of Black Lives Matter. That's what you need to do, so that people understand. We're not saying that Black lives matter more than white lives or any other lives. We're trying to tell you that Black lives matter too.
That's it. BLM's gonna fucking scoop you up, homeboy.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get canceled. I'm a Republican. I should be scooped up.
No, what I mean by that is they're gonna fucking make you their VP of marketing.
Oh, I mean, shit, if they need one. Also, what?
Were you? Continue.
I don't know, man. Like my microphone is doing some weird shit ever since I fucking shared it. Ever since I shared screens, all of a sudden I feel like it's not using my fucking headphone mics.
Right. Well,
but
if we had proper equipment, or at least additional equipment, we wouldn't have this issue. So we need sponsors, listeners.
That's right. Check out our merch at Chino and Homeboy.myshopify.com.
That's right. A few other collections have been added on there.
That's right.
So
and
check it out.
If you motherfuckers help us get to 100 subscribers, guess what? We will give everybody a 20% discount.
Here you go. You heard him.
That's right. I said it. I said it. Back to this shit though.
All right. Yeah. Continue.
What I wanted to point out was how you see how this shit goes, right? You see how this shit, like this whole white saviorism bullshit goes. I wanted to talk about how, you know, Dave Chappelle, essentially, when he did his fucking thing, it's essentially like what Dave's trying to point out is the LGBTQ community has the luxury of selling out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, without any danger of their community, of any dangerous repercussions to the community, right? Whereas the Black community, or pretty much anyone of color, if they sold out, there would be dangerous repercussions because of it.
Well, let me retort, my friend. They're not selling out. They have access to white power.
Well, that's true.
So
isn't that form of selling out though?
They're not. No,
selling out.
They're not selling out. They would have to sell out the gays because that's who that's how they label themselves, right?
Right.
They're using their community moves with such speed and power is because they have access to white power.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about LGBTQ or Black people? Okay,
LGBTQ.
That's where the confusion comes from.
When you look at who the leadership is, who started it, it was white gay folks.
Gotcha. I thought you were talking about black people,
white gay folks with money.
Yeah.
Right. No, I thought you were talking about black people who sell out.
No, not yet.
No.
We'll get to that.
Not yet.
Yeah. So they, you know, they have the money and access to how the system works. Their family members, you know, even if they're not rich personally, they have access to riches through family members who may support them.
Daddy Warbucks, yeah.
You know, and so that's the difference between the communities. One has access to riches and white power, and one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're able to make way. Like if you look at Dick Cheney, his daughter's gay.
Trans, I think, as a matter of fact.
She's trans?
I think she's trans. Like
Jamie,
can you look that up?
Jamie? Anyway, continue.
But through her dad, she has access to the Oval Office. You know what I'm saying? Through her dad, she's gotten money and gotten education.
No, she's just gay. She's just gay. She's not trans. Sorry, people. Sorry, white people.
Generated a career of her own, and now has white power and money of her own that she lends access to her community. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. And then I saw an interesting video. I meant to share it, but I think I was over capacity. But there's a sister who's in Portland, and she was like, one of the things I hate is that I get sexually harassed by white gay men in Portland when I'm going out with my homegirls. So, you know, they come through, they grab her, like she actually had it on video where like they came through, grabbed her ass and everything else, and then kept going. And I was like, at first I was thinking that she was saying that men, you know, heterosexual men were harassing her while showing this gay guy doing something and being like, well, that's okay. And I was like, how's that not harassment? Because he's touching you without permission anyway. But with further listening, I realized like, oh no, she's saying that the gay motherfuckers down there are racist as shit because they'll call them bitches, touch them, touch their hair, and then when they say, hey, chill the fuck out, back off of me, call them niggers and shit like that. And then when you call them racist, like, I can't be racist, I'm gay.
That's apples to oranges right there. That's an apples to oranges comments. That's a false equivalency statement. I can't be racist because I'm gay. I'm like, yeah, you can.
Like I'm oppressed too.
Gay is not a race. That's a sexual orientation, motherfucker.
Look, if Chille DeCastro can say that calling someone racist is the new N-word, they can say that. I'm just saying. Because apparently all bets are off. The rules are gone. You know, might as well whip your dick out in Walmart.
Yeah. Right. So it's just like when I saw that video, I'm like, this is absolutely what Dave Chappelle was talking about. It was like, here are these Black women trying to have a night out, and instead of being harassed by heterosexual men, they're actually being harassed by gay men and made to feel uncomfortable and unsafe.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so like just because you're in one particular group of oppression doesn't mean you can't be an oppressor.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Exactly.
That's true. I mean, women are a minority in the United States, but they make up more than 50% of the population, and that's because we subjugate women.
Then they're not a minority. They're
no.
That's
community.
It's the subjugation that makes them a minority, not population.
Right.
Well, but that's something we should stop saying, because minority means you don't have the numbers. You should say an oppressed community, because they have the numbers.
And that's what I meant by, you know, when I made the comment that, you know, that's weird because, you know, they make up half the population. And you know, if that's true, then, you know, how are they labeled a minority? You know what I mean?
Access to power.
No. I get it. But you know, that's what I meant simply.
Well, I mean, the problem is we've misconstrued the meaning of what minority means in this country.
Right.
So according to sociologists, women are considered a minority group because they do not share the same power, privileges, rights, and opportunities as men.
Yeah. And so being a minority has nothing to do with those things. It's literally, you don't have the numbers. Right? We're in a what do you call that? The majority rule country, right? So
yeah, you would think.
I
mean, 45 did come into power.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I feel you, and others.
Right, and others.
In general,
George Bush.
The laws that get the most votes get passed. The elected officials who get the most votes win. That's the basis of everything, right?
Right.
So your minority status just means that you're not as many as the larger group.
So if I may digress for a second, right? That the presidency is the only office in the entire country that is elected by an electoral college. And the electoral college obviously was created by the South, was a concession to the South, so that they would join in order for the revolution to be able to happen and us have, you know, America, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, it is the thing that keeps, you know, the racists in power. And this whole thing about how, you know, states with the lower population wouldn't have any power. Motherfuckers, quit being stupid. You have power. It's called the Senate and the House of Representatives. Shut the fuck up.
We've talked about this before in the previous episode.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Hey, Jones, continue.
Made me forget where I left off. Where did I leave off?
I don't know. I was too busy thinking in my own head to pay attention.
Damn.
Yeah, my ADHD kicked in too, so
yeah,
can't help.
I was talking about the minority status.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
It's not a minority. It's about oppression. So, like with women, they were oppressed. They had laws that were against them that didn't allow them to vote, own property, so forth and so on. Most of those laws have been removed from the books, but then there's still like workplace discrimination and things of that sort.
Yeah.
So
there's still a lot of sociological oppression. Yeah.
And then a lot of women buy into it. So we label that this patriarchy, right? And some women believe in patriarchy and some don't. So they're kind of a split on that angle. So which you know works against their interests in some degree, you know.
Yeah.
I was listening to Kevin Samuels the other day, which he's becoming more problematic the more it goes on, but he's basically a believer that a woman's place is to help a man,
okay,
or to assist a man. Right?
In other words, a woman is a tool. She's not an actual human being or a person.
Yeah, to some degree. I wouldn't take it that far, but where he's stating is, if you're going to be Oprah, right, going to pursue some grand goal of your own, you're not going to have a husband or kids, and that doesn't benefit you because you want a husband and a kid.
Hold up.
I'm only talking heterosexually. I'm not talking about gay folks.
Hold up. Oprah's a billionaire, right?
Yes.
I think, not having a husband and kids and being a billionaire is beneficial.
Well, I mean,
and we also established that she's white.
No. We established that she's a queen.
She's been drafted. She's been drafted.
She's a queen of white people.
That's
not
right.
necessarily that she's white.
Yeah, she was drafted. She was drafted by the white community during the racial draft.
There you
go. Well, and basically, like, the women who call him are talking about why they don't have the relationships that they desire. Why?
Well, they're just setting themselves up to get roasted.
Of course. I wonder how many of them are actually real. But clearly, he's stating, like, hey, if you want a relationship, and I understand it to some degree, right? If both of you guys are career oriented, and the man has to be technically in this society based on how things are set up. She can't, because then you're going to miss out on the kids. You're going to be competitive with your mate, and then that leads to other things, which usually ends with the breaking up at some point or having a high tension relationship.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Break up. Fuck it.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying
there's billions and billions of people on this planet. The odds.
Okay, you're taking it too far. You're taking it too far. I'm only talking about his premise. Breaking up isn't the answer, because under his theory, you're going to have this problem with every man that you run into, or any man of value you run into.
Right.
So women need to get in line and, build a home, raise some kids, and worry about your career afterwards. Going to college is just a means for you to find a good husband. You know what I'm saying? So
that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
But
yeah, that is.
But people do that. People literally.
I don't doubt. I don't doubt that people do that. I'm just saying it's one of the dumbest fucking rhetorics I've ever heard.
But is it dumb if people actually do that shit? Like, I know women who go to college, they meet the guy they're gonna marry. They get out of school. Hold on. They get out of school, they marry that nigga, and never go back to work again.
That's different though. So
like to go to college. That is a path way for a lot of people.
To go to college with this singular purpose, not
necessarily that singular purpose, but
right. No, I get it. The thing is, like, it sounded that way initially. Like, for him to say, like, they go to college to meet their husbands. Like, no, like, I don't think anybody goes to fucking college to meet, their future partner.
I think the way he poses it, it's like, this is what actually happens. Like, when you look at data, this is a lot what happens, right? A lot of folks find the person they're going to marry while in college. I did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So although it wasn't a stop working kind of relationship, you know what I'm saying? But that is kind of the pathway. So by the time you're 30, you're kind of married. So that's the traditional thing. And if you look at data in the past, a lot of women went that route. Like, if you want to get married and have kids and you went to college, you're probably gonna, find your dude somewhere like in college or right after college. And then by the time you're 30, you're pregnant and not working ever again.
Right.
Yeah. And you're just taking care of the home. So he's basically going around and telling people or women that this is their move. This is the you can work, but your work shouldn't be the primary thing. Like your guy's work should be the bread and butter, and your shit is just a little extra to keep you busy. So like,
yeah, you should ask the Japanese how that's fucking working out for them.
Oh no, I'm not saying I agree with them. I totally don't. But these are the things that he's pumping, and there's women who believe it, and that's what keeps them in some way disbalanced in the power section.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what?
Because my question,
you know what I say? Fuck those confused bitches.
So that's where I question him, because I'm like, you have Oprah, who's a billionaire, right?
Yeah,
like that's her path. She had enough gusto and intelligence to become a billionaire, right?
Yeah,
right.
If she was your daughter had her capacity, why would you say don't be that? Because so mind you, Oprah's man ain't a billionaire. He's a multimillionaire, but he's not a billionaire, right? So he's a good earner. So I'm like, if Oprah was your child, you would tell her, don't be that successful, just help that dude become the billionaire.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
They'd call him a simp anyway, so you know, because he's not a real man.
Oprah, we love you, and we need sponsors.
You know, like that's why I like Dante Nero, because he kind of explains, like, no matter what kind of power your woman has, you have the ability to put down your dominance so that relationship still has its balance, right? So no matter how much money you make, you still need me to make you feel a certain way, or to keep you protected, or something, right? You're still delivering something that keeps that male-female balance thing going on. So like the money doesn't override. But I actually know a couple that once the wife started having children, she worked in banking or finance or something like that, right? And she personally started seeing that she was, because of how she had to compete at work with men, she was bringing this masculine energy into her home, and it was conflicting with her husband. And then once she decided to have kids, she quit working, and then had like one kid and then a set of twins, I think. You know what I'm saying? But that, in her own mind, and this is a white woman, she's like, yeah, I'm getting too masculine, I'm gonna quit my job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like that shit exists. And she went from like,
I'm sure it does.
I probably make more money than my husband, and I can have this really highfalutin career, but the attitude and the power dynamics involved in my work puts me in conflict with my husband. So when I come home, it's like, why don't you make as much money as me? I pay more of the money. You should be doing what I say, kind of deal. You know, there's a role reversal. And the person who pays the most bills want to be the authoritarian of the situation.
Right.
So those dynamics do exist, and society hasn't really talked about how we balance that out. And I think we're in the process of trying to figure that shit out. But that's kind of reason why women don't have the power that they should, because they're not unified in that particular area. I'm done.
Perhaps. I mean, you know.
But they're definitely not minorities. And I hate the fact of people claiming minority status or using the term minority. Like, I don't even like using the term minority unless we're talking about political numbers. I don't want to hear the word minority, because we're only a minority within this particular country.
Now,
when you're talking about race, because globally, white people are the minority.
Now, I think that what Homeboy said earlier is correct in that it's not so much the numbers, it's the subjugation, or it's the oppression. You know, so I think to label women as minorities, you know, is a bit of a it's a misnomer.
It's a misnomer, yes. But in terms of using the word minority as a means of talking about actual power that they hold, they are a minority in that regard. Not in numbers, not in numbers, but
I feel you.
In power, in the amount of power that they hold. Yes, they are a minority.
I mean, they probably hold more power, or just as much as the gay community. Because,
no, I mean, like, no.
Because
no.
Hold on, stop. There are probably more women than there are gay people, and those white women have access to the same white power. From the white women's side of the game, they have access to money and white power just as much as the gay community does. They're just not organized and structured in the same way as the gay community.
Maybe.
Not maybe, actually.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not part of either community, so
they're rich.
Although I support them.
They're rich white women. They're rich white women from rich families.
I'm just gonna stay quiet because you killed my joke. Okay, I'm gonna mourn the death of my joke.
Nigga, learn how to deliver it back.
Wait, no, who killed it? Hey, Jones.
I would have delivered it if you hadn't interrupted me.
But you can't be stepping on me when I'm in mid thought.
Yes, I can.
No.
I do it all the time.
I know, and I wish you'd stop.
Oh man. Go ahead. You know what? Let's go boondock scenes. Continue the joke. Continue the joke.
Oh man.
Just don't say anything racist because it's what happens in the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, so. No, I don't remember the setup. I don't remember the setup. There's something about the gays having power and the women having power, and I was gonna say like, well, women have a kind of power. It's called pussy power.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. When H8 Jones says like,
that is
H8 Jones actually said, yeah, H8 Jones actually said like, yeah, women have power, and I was gonna be like, yeah, pussy power. That was a setup. That was a setup.
Yeah, but that is true. I mean, that's how patriarchy works for women in a certain degree. Right. You know, like if you could stay at home and marry a rich dude and then kind of wield his power from behind the veil, that's a form of power. And so,
oh man, that reminds me
of arms dealer in Tenet.
That reminds me of the dependopotamuses. Yeah. You know,
yeah.
The dependopotamus is a woman who's married to a high-ranking service member, and whenever they go on to the base, they feel like they hold the same rank as their husbands, right? So they're like, do you know who my husband is? He's a captain, so that makes me a captain. And I'm like bitch.
I saw this one post where a long time ago where the dependopotamus went on Facebook on rant to say that, you know, I'm married to an officer or whatever he was.
Yeah.
And she said the gate guard who checked my ID didn't salute me afterwards. The nerve of some people.
Boy.
Like you, it's not you that they salute. Like you're not the officer.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah. No, you're not the officer, bitch. Not the officer.
But the reason why they're called dependopotamus is because they're dependents of, like Homeboy said, usually high-ranking individuals in a base or, you know, in some military installation, and they're usually
overweight,
built like hippos.
That's right. Yeah.
As big as they are round, or as tall as they are round.
If you're not a rotund dependopotamus, you're just a dependa.
You know, this I got called that at some point because, you know, I was dependent, a dependo. I was
dependo. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a military spouse dependent.
Yep, I've been there. I've been a dependo
for a while.
Too.
Yeah,
twice.
But but I wasn't right 2 times. But I wasn't well upholstered. I wasn't rotund. I wasn't, you know, I set for myself a caloric ceiling every day.
Right.
So, you know, I wasn't walking around like, you know, I had a blood type of chocolate cake.
You weren't properly oh man, you said upholstered. And
yeah, I like well upholstered.
Yeah. Oh, you weren't properly insulated enough to be
right.
A dependopotamus.
That's right. But I was called a dependo. I'm like, bitch, I make my own money.
Right.
Like, do you see me over here in your bar drinking with my own money? You're welcome.
Exactly. Yeah, the dependa doesn't work. I mean, it's completely living off of the military spouse. And there are women out there who specifically search out young enlisted, fresh out of boot camp booters to marry so that they can get that BAH check.
Yep.
And more than likely subsequently divorce them so they can get that, that child support and alimony money.
Yep.
There's a lot of sailors that, in their youth, right, fell for the dependa trap, and these guys were like first classes and chiefs, and like, man, this bitch is gonna get half of my retirement now. And I'm like, man, yo, that's
dude. I was even a witness to a civil union of a service member.
Yeah.
And she was in the Navy, and the dude wasn't like flew in from New York to go get married in Vegas, and flew right back the same day so he could get the benefits.
Yeah.
And I know because, like I said, I was the witness to that civil union, and I fucked her afterwards. And before too, so
Jody.
Well, I mean, I knew about the whole, thing going into it, because we were, I guess, quote unquote dating.
Yeah.
We went to we made plans to go to we were living in San Diego at the time, so we drove up to Vegas for the weekend.
She got married.
She got married, yeah.
And you laid down some pipe.
Like, fucked her before the ceremony, became a witness, and fucked her afterwards. It was great.
That should be a fucking medal.
Make it so.
Oh man, that should be a fucking medal. I gotta remember where I put my list.
But yeah,
the hoary matrimony medal.
Right.
I'll call it exactly that. Hoary matrimony medal.
The hoary matrimony. There you go. Nice. Leave it to H8 Jones come up with shit. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm a well of ideas, my friend. A well of ideas.
But yeah, like that shit does happen. I not only did I see it firsthand, but like, you hear stories. Shit. I mean, when I was going through A school, a bunch of the people in my schoolhouse did the same shit. I mean, to give some of them credit, they got married to their girlfriends. But there were a few who, met some random stripper or some random fucking bartender at a local bar, and a month later they're married, throwing rice. Here comes fucking all that shit.
Well, that's because living in the barracks fucking sucks, man. Living on a ship fucking sucks.
I'm not saying they can do whatever the fuck they want.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they get desperate, wanting to get off the ship, man. They just get married.
Look,
no, you can't live off the ship unless you're married.
You have to ask permission. They have to grant you permission, and it has to be. There has to be, I guess, for the lack of a better term, extenuating circumstances, like they don't have enough room in the barracks, for example, or like shit like that. You have to have, at least on our command, you had to be, in order for you to get BAH.
You have to be a certain rank, have been in a certain number of years, and shown that you're responsible enough to be able to live on your own, absent out from underneath Uncle Sam's thumb.
Pretty much. So, but it's basically like, you're trying to move out from your daddy's house, except it's Uncle Sam this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, I got to tell you, you know what? ain't nothing wrong with living in the barracks. I mean, sure, it's kind of like living with your parents, but it ain't living with your parents.
That's true.
What about privacy, access to pussy, or a place to fuck?
That's why God invented hotels.
Nigga, I don't want to have to pay to fuck.
No. So I mean,
that
there
enough,
are
I gotta
ways...
buy a chick a drink. Take her on a date. Now I gotta buy a room.
And you can fuck at her place.
Look,
man, these chicks don't got places. This is the whole point of this conversation.
What? Hold on. So
they're minorities, remember? They ain't got no power.
Look, check this out. So, to my eternal shame, I never brought a girl onto the ship and fucked her on the ship. I should have done that.
I'm disappointed in you.
I know, me too. Like, no one's more disappointed in me than me. All right, but there are ways to circumvent the whole barracks situation. And so, I've done it before. I think I've been out long enough to be able to say, yep, I did that shit and not get in trouble. So, yeah, there are ways to circumvent, the difficulties of bringing a girl into your barracks room.
If you're active duty military and you're living in the barracks, go ahead and let us know in the comment section that you want Chino's advice on how to circumvent the barracks situation, because he actually lived on a U.S. naval destroyer, and circumventing that situation is far more complicated than circumventing the barracks situation. So yeah, go ahead and let us know in the leave your questions in the comment section. Chino will advise.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I would have to do some Mission Impossible shit to pull that shit off on the ship, but I guarantee you, if I tried hard enough, I probably could have pulled it off. Because
I'll tell you from experience that to pull it off on a naval destroyer, you need access to secure spaces. Because those access to secure spaces really helps out.
Right. I mean, look, I didn't exactly have a secure space, but I did have a space where only a limited number of people had access to. It wasn't, a secure space like you would think, they say in the Navy where, you had to have some sort of fucking I had a space where I had a key, and I think only 2 other people had a key too, so like I said, if I tried hard enough, I could have pulled that shit off. But unfortunately, I didn't, much to my chagrin and eternal shame.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I forgive you.
But anyway, yeah, like Homeboy said, I'm willing to give advice to you youngins out there if you need it.
Exactly.
That I'm old.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're out there thinking like, man, that's some dirtbag shit to do, listen. I got an honorable discharge from the United States military, and they gave me an RE4 code saying, do not enlist this motherfucker. So, let that sink in.
Yeah. Can you explain to the kids what an RE4 is?
An RE4 code is essentially something that they tell you the only people that really get RE4 codes are people who probably get medically discharged, and it's like, man, this dude is so medically gone that we just should not re-enlist this motherfucker.
Right. He can't fight no more.
That's right. You got a dishonorable discharge because you got a trial, right? You went to trial, you went and got a court-martial. You're probably going to get an RE4 code. And if you tested positive for drugs, or if you're an alcoholic and you failed treatment and all that shit, they'll probably discharge you with an RE4 code. And that means do not enlist this motherfucker. And that means Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, that all of them are like, that code says, do not give this motherfucker a job.
You cut off. You cut off in the Black Arnolds.
That's right. So yeah,
so your attempt to get back in was a waste of time to begin with.
No, there's a waiver for it. Because I got an honorable discharge, they actually considered me. The Navy said, yeah, sure, we'll let you in. And then I went through the whole process, had the old man look at my butthole, They took blood from me. I did the fucking duck walk, and had an old man grab my balls and make me cough. Right, I did all of that shit, but I couldn't finish the process. And then by the time I was able to finish the process, they were like, you know what, you just got too old. We can't let you in. So they're like, the Navy was like, you can be a dirtbag, but you can't be old.
You're 3 months too old to join this crew.
That you know what? It's that accurate.
If you would have finished this test 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Exactly.
Wait, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember having multiple conversations about this with you, like checking the status and all that shit, right? And weren't they the ones that dropped the ball? Like, weren't they the ones the reason for
it was
the delay?
My fault. It was my fault. All I had left to do was sign my security clearance paperwork, get fingerprinted, and there was one other thing.
So it was fault.
It was my fault. It was my fault because I couldn't. Because if I'd have gotten it done at MEPS that day, I would be in the Navy right now.
Right on.
But yeah. So I got all that done, and then I tried the Army because they'll enlist. They'll take anybody, right?
Right.
But they told me, listen, bro, you can either be old or you can be a dirtbag.
Can't
be
both.
And I'd have been like, yo, I see who you enlist. How the fuck can you make that rule? But you know what? I'm gonna go smoke me some weed. Peace.
Yeah, there's a silver lining. Like, oh, I can't get in the Army, can't join the Navy. All right, pass that bone, son.
That's right.
Give me that method.
That's right. Give me that method.
So speaking of paperwork and processes, I am now completely legal to drive after many years of having my license being expired.
Oh, about to say, like, what happened? You hit somebody?
No, I never got
manslaughter.
No. I never got my.
Did you Caitlyn Jenner someone on PCH?
Nah. No, like a few years back, I moved, and we put in a change of address orders and all other shit, and my renewal papers never showed up at my house.
Because you're black.
And my cousin, and it's probably true, and my cousin moved into my old apartment. So if it came there, he would have got it and told me, like, hey, I got some mail for you. Never did.
Yeah, but it didn't, because they're racist.
So I didn't know that my license was expired for years.
Yeah. Right. How do you not know? I mean, it says so right there in the driver's license.
How often do I look at that motherfucker? That's for bouncers. I don't look at the shit. I know what's on there, technically.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, right. Okay. I get.
See, that's what happens. That's what happens when. That's what happens when you no longer living the single life. Hate Jones. See, you can't have a bouncer tell you like, "Hey man, your shit's expired."
So this could have been prevented.
Bouncer would have been the homie and let you know right then and there.
Right.
Son.
Yeah. This whole problem could have been prevented if you stayed single.
That's right. Or just gone out clubbing. I mean, shit. But I know we were in a pandemic. I get it. We're in a pandemic. Yeah. We're in a pandemic. So it's eyes.
Oh, but he said,
I forgive you.
He said it expired. Wait. Did you not say it expired like a long time ago, or you haven't been legal to drive for years?
Yeah, it expired. I think maybe like in 2017 or 18.
Oh shit!
Oh man, what the hell?
There you go. Yeah,
bro.
Wait a minute. Pandemic happened 2 years ago? Yeah.
Bruh.
The fuck?
Man, I never look at my license.
Like, that's just bone idleness. Like, what the fuck? Like,
shit, I don't even. One, I never look at my license. Two, I've never been carded seriously, even when I was a child.
It's because you're big.
Yeah.
So like that scene in Bad Boys 2 when that dude, that kid tries to take out Martin Lawrence's daughter. Like, man, you look dirty.
Yeah.
I'm 15, Mr. Burnett. You look dirty. Like, you're at least dirty.
Like, excuse me, because I'm eating. I generally don't have a need to actually look at my fucking ID. Like, how often do you look at your social security card? You know the fucking number.
Well, quite recently I've had to look at it for like a long ass time because I was trying to enlist in the military again. So
Did you look at it, or did you just hand it to him and let him scan it and then put it back in your pocket?
I kind of looked at it. I got distracted a little by like, oh, is that my signature? Shit, I better make it look like that.
Oh man.
But I will say, to renew my shit, they didn't even make me retest, which was awesome because that was my fear. I'm like, so I gotta go through and fucking take a fucking test and do the driver's test and all this shit. I'm just gonna stay dirty. They're like, just give me some ID, so I can get my gun on.
Yeah,
and I'll just ride dirty for the rest of my life.
That's funny.
You see, folks, we're all a bunch of fucking dirtbags here. So go ahead, buy some merch at the store. If you purchase, for every one of your purchases, we donate $1 to Hope for the Warriors, which is a nonprofit organization that helps out veterans and active duty military members. And if you spend more than 100 bills, you get a free gift. You get some exclusive shit that you can't buy. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to this bitch, as a matter of fact. Shit, if you haven't done it, and tell your homies, if we get 100 subscribers, we're giving everybody a discount. All right. So let's call it a day for now, and we're gonna go record for Turnstile Thursdays or Wicked Wednesday, or whatever day of the week my ass feels like fucking posting that shit.
Right. Manic Mondays.
Oh, wait a minute. I did have
Saturdays.
I did have some input. So it seems like at the DMV now, you have to do part of your registration online and then go in to finish it. I was literally in the DMV for under 30 minutes.
Oh shit.
Well, that's progress of a kind, I'll say.
That is progress.
I'm like, I don't know and I went at the end of the day. I went like at 4 o'clock, because I overslept. Like when I walked up, there's 2 lines. There's one for appointments, one for no appointments. There are 5 people, or 4 to 5 people in each line, including myself. So I get in the no appointment line. Within 3 minutes, I'm the next person in line. Hand the lady at the door who has a computer outside, because it's still COVID protocol. She processes up my work, give me my paper, give me a number, say go inside. Go inside. There's tons of empty seats. Wait for my number. I'm like, for my number, I'm like the 3rd number in a row. So I'm like, they're on 71, my number's 73. In less than 10 minutes, I'm at the window. I paid the man the money, get my fingerprint scan, go over to take a picture. Less than 5 minutes, picture's taken, I'm out the door, back in my car.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
At least something good happened from this.
Yeah, no, you know what? There's a lot of good shit that happened because of the pandemic. All right, a lot of shit, but we'll discuss that on another day.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Until next time, homies. Peace.
And konnichiwa, bitches.
And don't forget to wipe that dirty ass of yours.